Good morning. We are walking with Jesus through the Gospel of Mark, and today we're at Mark chapter 8, verses 14 through 21. Now, here we are, as we're going with Jesus, we're back in the boat again. We've been in and out of this boat, as on several occasions here, as he has gone back and forth across Galilee and having various encounters with people at different places along the shore of Galilee. And so here he is in the boat with his disciples, but instead of his disciples being at peace in the presence of Jesus, guess what? They were worried about, you got it, bread again. They had seen the 5,000 fed. They had seen the 4,000 fed. And now it was just them in the boat, and they didn't have more than one loaf, the scripture says, and so they were worried about bread. It's interesting that Jesus' response to them was really not focused on a physical loaf of bread, but on something much bigger. He was using an illustration of bread, actually, to help them understand that there's something much bigger going on here. When Jesus said this, "Watch out, beware of the leaven of the Pharisees and the leaven of Herod," he was not talking about bread. Although he mentioned leaven, he was not talking about bread, but he was talking about the influence of the Pharisees and of Herod. We know that a little bit of leaven in a lump of dough influences the whole lump of dough. We understand that. Well, here Jesus is telling them to beware of the leaven, or the influence of the Pharisees and the influence of Herod. Isn't it interesting? It's these two entities who would end up being responsible very soon for the crucifixion of Jesus. There were the Pharisees, representing the unbelieving religious world, and then there was Herod, representing the Roman government. And Jesus was telling his disciples, these are the things that you ought to be concerned about, and not just a loaf of bread. And then he carries this conversation further, and he kind of puts them on the spot. And it's kind of entertaining for us to step back and to see this conversation going on. Jesus said to them, "Why do you discuss among yourselves that you have no bread? Do you not yet see or understand?" And then Jesus made them answer. He made them participate in this. He wasn't just lecturing them. This was going to be an exchange where they had to come to an understanding. Jesus said, "When I broke the 5 loaves for the 5,000, how many baskets full of broken pieces did you pick up?" And you can kind of sheepishly hear them say, 12. And then Jesus came back. "And when I broke the 7 for the 4,000, how many large baskets of broken pieces did you pick up?" And again, sheepishly, they say, 7. And then he said, "Do you not yet understand?" In effect, this is what he was saying. Do you not understand that I can take care of your needs? Do you not understand that I have the power to do whatever is needed? Do you not understand that I am God, come to give you grace and peace and meaning in your lives? Do you not understand that I created all things, and thus I can do all things? Do you not understand these things yet? Well, it sounds like Jesus was frustrated. Do you think he was? I think he was. Now, on one hand, somebody might say, well, frustration is not a very godly trait. But let's see what was at stake right here. I think he was frustrated because the very souls of those that he was dealing with were refusing to see the big picture. They were refusing to see the whole truth. And they were refusing to see that he had the message of life itself. Yes, he was frustrated with them because they couldn't come out of their rut of thinking about the things of this world to understand that he was speaking of things of a much greater world. And then, through this, I think we have to understand that he was talking to us. And he was saying to us, do you not yet understand? He was saying to us, do you not understand that I can take care of your needs? Do you not understand that I have the power to do whatever is needed? Do you not understand that I am God, having come to you to give you grace and peace and meaning? Do you not yet understand that? And yet, we don't very often, because we're caught up with the things of this world. We're caught up with food or clothing or our schedules or the way that we will look in the eyes of others. Or we're caught up in dealing with so many things that are truly of this world. In effect, Jesus is saying to us, why are you worried about the things of this world? Because I have so much more for you. Do you not yet understand that? And sheepishly, we have to say, well, maybe not. I hope we come to greater understanding. In the next few days of Jesus' life, we're going to start to see some things happen. Things that bring ultimate meaning to this world. And I hope that we can be the ones that can carry that grace and peace and meaning from God into the world. Otherwise, we have to look at ourselves and say, do we not yet understand these things? I hope you have a thoughtful day. Bye.
They resound with God's own heart. Oh, let the ancient words impart. Words of life, words of hope.